Thelma, you want to introduce this story because I'm pretty sure you have a lot to say about this.
What don't I have to say? So, the world is definitely on notice about the recent fiasco of Michigan's former head coach, Sherrone Moore, who found himself in a pot of flour that made him lose his power. And unfortunately, he is not only out of a job, but he got some criminal charges because you cannot be sleeping with the help. You only hire the help, but he was sleeping with the help, which was in the form of the white help. And we know what happens when a white help gets mad. They go telling everybody but God, because that's just what they do. And so now he finds himself not only out of a prominent head coaching position, but he finds himself with legal troubles. And you got a white prosecutor that loves to use trigger language towards a black man. So we already know what he should be looking for. But,
So, in short, to summarize that, Sherrone Moore was the football coach at Michigan that had a $35 million contract. He was married with 2 kids to another white woman and had apparently been having a relationship with a staffer, a young white woman staffer.
Which wasn't the only one, apparently.
Apparently
he loved it.
Apparently he was making his rounds.
He was throwing snowballs.
Ain't that's what Caribbean men do? I heard that was freaky. Like they need more than one vagina.
Okay. But apparently the organization became aware of this, and he had 2 options to either let that staffer go or fire her. And he chose the latter, to fire her. Once he fired her, she then went and said, yo, I've been dealing with him, and he was ordering Plan Bs and all this kind of stuff, which in turn got him fired. So then he goes and threatens to kill himself with a butter knife. All this is just sad and stupid.
This is a microdrama.
Right, exactly. This is like, this is some sad and stupid commentary.
This is just
Snow White 2025.
Yo, but so my man lost $35 million. And he's out of a football job, and he'll probably never be able to coach again.
No.
And as Thelma said, he has criminal charges. What are the charges that he has?
He has home invasion. That's a felony. He has 2 misdemeanors. I forgot what they were, but it's not looking. He shouldn't even have any kind of criminal charges if I'm being honest, because it's very flaky. As a prosecutor, you never want to give so much credibility to a lying asshole. And that's what she is.
I don't know this girl.
That's what she is.
it's a t-shirt.
Any woman that is going to spread her legs for 3 years to a married man and get mad when they get fired, I would question everything this person has to say.
Oh, this is a 3-year relationship?
Yeah, he was banging her for 3 years, and then he promoted her.
Andy over there choking.
Yo, my thing is, what was
over there like, God damn.
What was his ex? What did he think was gonna happen?
I don't even know what. First of all, and then on top of that, another OnlyFans model said that she was also in communication with him.
It gets worse.
After he got fired and during he got fired, as well. So
my man,
the first thing
they be getting on my nerves when they want to come out after the fact. Like, where was you before?
Hold on. What this lets me know is he was not prepared for the level of success that he was the opportunity.
They said he was a DEI.
No. Okay, fine.
That's what they said. Jim is the one that put him, like, literally talked him up to because he worked under Jim for all those years. So they said that he's literally from a regime. Yeah. So
but I mean that doesn't mean Jim Harbaugh isn't black though.
No, but they're saying he basically made the call like, hey, this is the person that needs to be elevated.
Well, once again, the phrase that I always say, which I repeat to myself often, is you cannot aspire for greatness and entertain mediocrity.
So I want to.
You can't do both, ladies and gentlemen. You got a $36 million football contract and an affair on the other, like a workplace affair. So let's just weigh those. $35 million, workplace affair. Look, do what you want to do. You can have affairs, but if it's going to put your job in jeopardy, then I would have affairs outside of my job, because then it's just affairs.
Here's the thing, that this is not uncommon to happen.
Why?
In college football. Like when you
No, this is not uncommon to happen in work.
No, what I'm saying is things like this happen all the time with the behind the scenes with these coaches. This is not the first one. He's just the first one to receive a position that I don't feel that he was qualified yet for. Mm-hmm. Because oftentimes when you take a position and you know you're not ready for it, then that means that you have been disobedient to your process. So now you're about to get an actual lesson behind all of that. And the fact that I'm saying he wasn't qualified is because he has weak dick syndrome. When a man has weak dick syndrome, when they are in a power position and they choose to weaken their dick for a moment, they're not qualified and they're not ready for the damn position. And it's clear that for 3 years, this man was not ready for the position. He saw the title and he said, oh, I can have all more power. I can have this power. I can have this influence. But he ain't thinking about the players that are going to be impacted, the university that is going to be impacted, the fans that are going to be impacted, and ultimately his family. So those are very important details that coaches, and especially people that aspire for leadership positions, they have to meet certain criteria, and he just didn't meet it.
Well, that's what I say. If you take it out of the realm of sports, what's the guy that was at the concert, the Coldplay concert?
Oh, and then he got the camera turned.
Yeah, it's the same thing. What y'all? I don't listen. Somebody got to out here.
The cat is not that good.
Somebody got to explain to me what it is about having relationships inside of the organization that you work with. Right? I was in the music business for over 20 years. I never once was involved with another writer, another artist, another woman executive in the music industry. I never was involved with any. I like my freedom. I like to be able to go to work and not be bothered by somebody just saying, hey, where were you last night? Like my blood pressure, I don't need that. It's running a company and being an entrepreneur is hard enough by compounding it with having to go see your work wife and she really your wife. It's crazy.
Or having to get called in the office and you know you fucked up and then you go in there and lie because damn, like I really did, dude, but I can't let it out though.
What is it about workplace romances?
Nothing. That should be the most unattractive thing.
We all have social media now. This is like you can open your phone and find any woman in the world today, and you gonna be a woman that is in a cubicle next to you.
It's about the thrill, man.
See, I don't need to talk thrills.
The thrill that lasts for about 2 minutes?
Yeah, the thrill to lose your job?
No, that thrill does not last that long to have such a damning and damaging outcome. Put it up.
Give us your questions, Noah, because I'm disgusted.
I'm sorry. I'm losing it. This has been the funniest conversation I think we've ever had on this show.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So let's get into it. The first question is, how should media responsibly cover cases like this without risking defamation or influencing ongoing legal proceedings?
Well, here's the thing about defamation. I think the word is so just broad and people are like, oh, I'm going to sue you for defamation. You have to meet certain criteria to get a defamation. So when you're covering cases like this, you want to rely on legal authorities like the DA's office coming out and doing the public hearing that we all could see. You want to utilize those facts, those statements that are credible, because law enforcement has literally stamped these as statements that they've taken and they've utilized in order to proceed with criminal charges. Outside of that, if you're going to take a statement from someone, you need to be able to verify. You need to have documentation. You need to have audio that ain't AI, Matt Barnes. You need to have more than just a statement, because when you do that and you put it out there, yes, you can run into legal issues, but the catch-all is allegedly. Allegedly, what I had heard was if you don't use allegedly, then you are allegedly going to get your ass in trouble.
I want to go back to a statement said before. The official charges against Moore are felony third-degree home invasion, as the prosecutors allege Moore unlawfully entered a woman's apartment without permission. A misdemeanor, stalking in a domestic relationship. This charge stems from alleged ongoing unwanted contact after a romantic relationship ended. And then the third misdemeanor is breaking, entering, unlawful entry, and that stems from being related to entering the residence without consent.
Like that is, y'all be crashing out. Like this is crazy. I mean, go ahead though. No.
So the question to you, Mr. Hayes, is if a relationship is consensual, can it still expose an employer to liability, and why?
Hell yeah. What do you mean? Of course I can. I don't give, man. Consent or not, I'm not dating nobody that works in the company. It's just not. There's no. I understand that. Here's what happens though. I know workplace romances are really a thing. Like people meet at work and they start dating, and I mean, you know what's so funny though? I said this before. I think I said this before in this podcast, but God rest her soul, Hamira, one of my coworkers was murdered by her husband because she was having a workplace romance with one of my coworkers who worked in the back in the warehouse with me at the linen loft when I was 20 years old. And it just like, it shocked me because she was very young. She had a young boy and they were having a workplace romance, and the husband unalived her over the relationship. And I just, I mean, affairs, dealing with married people, there's just things that I've always stayed away from. Just as I learned my lessons early, right? I learned my lessons about being cautious about, being accused of things that you didn't do, or workplace romances, or things that were just inappropriate, or always being able to have a clear path to be able to accomplish your goals and your dreams. You always want to put your business before anything else. So you don't want to risk your job over dating somebody at the place you work at. Because I'm like, if you were a college football coach, you're making $36 million a year, I'd have been cool if he was just hollering at the OnlyFans girl. It wouldn't even been an issue then. Then it would have just been embarrassing. Then it was just like, okay, but now you done lost your job. He got fired with cause. And I think he was only there for a year and change, right? So he maybe got like $6 million, which I hope he saved the money and cut that half, and then his wife gets done probably divorcing him. She's gonna take half of that. So I'm like, bruh, you went from 36 million to 1.5 M's before taxes? Man, no.
So, Ms. Thelma, my question to you is, the phrase inappropriate relationship is used frequently. What does that term actually mean legally when one person holds power over another in a workplace?
Well, it's legally, it can be seen as unequal force, because when you have someone that has power and influence, then they automatically have a greater power over that person to contribute to whatever outcome that they want to get from that person, like making gestures like, oh, I'll give you a raise if you do what you need to do to get that raise. So legally, it'll still rise to the level of inappropriate relations because of the power control dynamic. You automatically have more power than a person. You automatically know that that's a liability the way that you're thinking. And if you submit to that liability that's in your brain, then you contribute to the inappropriate relationship that adds a legal context to making your employer liable.
So what due process right does a high-profile employee have during an internal investigation, and where do those rights end?
So they have a right to be put on notice about any kind of claims of being inappropriate that has been put on them. They have a right to respond to whatever has been reported. They have a right to counter whatever outcome is related to the investigation. And they will have a right to appeal if said investigation deemed to be valid and they get dismissed with cause. So what a lot of people don't understand what with cause means in a college football contract, you have to give this person notice. You cannot just fire someone because it's with cause. You have to give them notice. You have to give them an opportunity to respond, and you have to give them an opportunity to counter before. And if they don't like your decision, they have a right to appeal to the president of the university in order to have a decision determined. We saw that with the LSU coach when they conveniently tried to come back and say it was with cause, even though it was without. But those details are very important and is embedded in pretty much every college football coach contract.
So, bigger picture, what should institutions change to prevent situations where power and intimacy collide at once?
Stop letting them hire their own fucking executive assistants. That's gonna be a start right there. Because if the executive assistant look like a hot ass nanny, that is a red flag. You know, at that moment, you know they fucking. I'm just gonna say it. They fucking. It ain't no. Listen, if it's a snow bunny, they fucking. And I'm just saying, they opening their legs up. Y'all don't understand how these snow bunnies actually get down in college. They are the flipperellas of the university. Like, they gonna get flipped and turned out, and they are willing to go as low as needed to go in order to accomplish not only their goal, but the goal of the person that is in power. Like, we're not going to sit up here and act like we ain't see he got game and how they recruited these players to universities by giving them twosomes and threesomes and things like that. No, stop hiring. Don't let them hire nobody. Also, you need to have a training process for bringing these people into leadership positions that have never had this type of power. They got to go through training just like y'all put the football players through training and got them doing all these corrective ass action classes. These people in leadership need the same thing. This stuff is coming overnight, and this is a different power dynamic that they may not be ready for, and y'all are entrusting. So y'all got to get them some fucking training too.